WRLR. Thank you so much for tuning in to In School Detention. That was 21 Savage and J. Cole with A Lot. I love that song so much. I think that might be one of my favorite songs of the year.
Well, it technically came out last year.
Oh, man.
So.
Well, that year. But I mean, like, I'm a J. Cole head. That's probably one of my favorite Cole verses ever.
I mean, no, he came in hot on that. Hard. He came in really.
I saw someone.
Nice.
I saw someone on Twitter said dark skin Cole is gonna come out. I guess maybe that was
real?
dark skin Cole.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. He really went nuts though.
He did, but it was like a good blend of like, let me talk my ish, but I'm gonna put you on with some positive stuff.
Oh yeah.
He talked to Markel, and it's crazy because Markel Fultz actually had a jumper back in college.
Oh, I know. That's why it's so crazy to see him now not be able to shoot a basketball.
It was weird.
It doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense to me at all because he got a burner in college, and he had the handles, everything. So to me, it is kind of odd.
He was number one.
But see, Philly's weird like that because they also, it's crazy. All three of their draft picks lately, Embiid, Fultz, and Simmons, all set out their first year and a half with injuries.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they come back and they're just balling.
Well, not
Markel, but if it happens next year, he's come back and he's dominating.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I think it's more so. I you know what? I don't really know what's going on with that. I feel like it's a mental thing, for him.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. I mean, I've seen videos of like there'll be times where he's shooting really well, but then he's in practice. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets into a game and the shot just looks so off. Yeah. And it's like what? I don't know. And then I hear. Sources say, oh, he's healthy, he's not healthy, he has this problem, there's this. I'm just like, what is really going on?
He said that his trainer had said he's healthy, but then right after his trainer said that, he fired his trainer. So
right, so it's like almost like the Kawhi situation with his injury, where you were kind of always in the dark of like, some people are saying he's good, other people are saying he's not good,
right?
But I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what's going on.
And it's crazy because now the Kawhi thing kind of bugged me. And by the way, guys, we jumped straight into it. Sorry, but today is Monday. My name is Devonn Overstreet. If you're a new listener, shout out to Alexis from AutoZone. Shout out to Title Max. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are this is In School Detention. It's a monthly. It's a weekly radio show hosted by myself and my boy Pierce. We talk about hip hop, politics, and everything in between. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, back to it. The thing with Kawhi that bothers me though is how he handled it. Did you hear how he was like hiding from the Spurs executives? He was like, I remember reading this article, he would go to a whole nother room, take a separate hallway, so he didn't have to see them, of course, like the end of the season. Like, how bad does it really get?
Yeah, you know what, that sounds really bad.
Terrible, bro, you're an adult.
But the thing is, though, nobody knows what was going on.
Because they could be fake news everywhere.
Right, fake news everywhere, and I've read some things where like there's a history of like the Spurs not handling injuries that well.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, how true is that? I don't know. But I mean, if that's the case, then maybe Kawhi didn't really feel comfortable with his injury, and plus the pressure to come back, and if he wasn't 100% yet. So I mean, unless we're getting the full story with these situations, and we aren't, obviously, it's kind of hard to form an opinion without sounding stupid.
Exactly. And it's crazy because we only typically hear good things about the Spurs organization.
Yeah. So that was a little shocking, but nobody's perfect, or nothing is perfect.
Absolutely. So here's another thing I saw in the news that kind of bothered me. So the Weeknd, right? He made that track, and I guess they're saying I think he took a shot at Drake. Something you don't have to hide your kids or anything like that. I think he took a shot at Drake personally. My thing is, I think that we're taking this whole if you're famous, hide your kid things out of proportion, because if I was famous, nobody would know I have kids. Nobody would even know that I have kids because that's my private information. I don't want you to know that. We're giving Drake all this energy because, he didn't tell us about his kids. He doesn't have to tell us. J. Cole, we've never seen J. Cole's kid. Pharrell has triplets. And I'm sure there are millions of other people who are famous who don't show their kids. So why are we coming at Drake for it? And I get it, Pusha T did that, but when are we gonna sit back and realize like, hey, like there's no correlation between the two in this?
Yeah, well, Drake it wasn't. I think this was the problem with Drake's situation is he's not hiding his kid for the protection of his kid, because he was gonna announce his child in an Adidas campaign, right. So it's kind of like, all right, like you weren't gonna say anything until you can make money off of it, almost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which kind of sounds a little. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, if you're like super famous, like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want my kids in that just constant limelight either. You know, I mean, how
Right.
how do you expect people to develop normally like that? You know, when they just got cameras in their face everywhere
Exactly.
they look. I mean,
That's
yeah.
what's-
So I'm not mad at people for hiding their children. You
Right.
know.
Now, my thing is though, even if he does want to make money off of it, I mean, who will reader really? That's his business to want to roll it out.
I know.
People post pictures of their kids all the time. It's not like Drake needs the money.
No, I know.
So
I don't know. I mean,
I just think that it was a good move by Pusha T. In terms of rap beef, anything goes, and that's another issue with Drake.
anything goes.
Anything
no matter
goes.
what. I'm tired of all this. Oh, that was too mean.
Nah,
This is rap.
He beef. Dang, bro, chill out.
I'm angry, man.
One thing they're kind of bothering me about the Drake situation. You want to play victim because talked about your friend, but he dissed Cudi hard.
Yeah, with his mental problems.
So shut up.
I mean,
Bum.
I don't even want to bring up the Drake and Pusha T beef
Yeah.
anymore because it's so old at this point. Nothing's happening from it. But I mean, my whole thing was Drake. I'm a fan of battle rap and I study battle rap. Blah 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 blah. And then when he's in, he battled Meek, and Meek just took a long time to respond. So it just played and it looked well for Drake.
Yeah.
So he was riding that wave, being that guy. And then Pusha T comes and he's really wants smoke. And now it's like I'm not like that, and I'm gonna put a response out for this. This is like, bro, like when you were winning, you were that guy, and you were, talking to all this and that. But now you have someone on your level, at least lyrically wise, and now it's like there's rules and stuff breaking. It's just like, come on, bro. Like,
Play the victim.
It's either you go all in at every single time, or you don't go in at all. Like, but that's just my outside opinion
You fight.
on it.
I'm the same way. You fight to kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
rap beef. I don't think it goes back to what hip hop was, when rap beef in the 80s and 90s. It was just bars, who can say what the coldest, the hardest, and make the other person look bad. Now what is rap beef now? I mean,
Good question.
I don't even know. I mean, the amount of beefs I saw last year with random artists, and they were saying some disrespectful things over Instagram Live, and then like the next week we squashed, we're good now, and it was like,
It's all for
you
attention.
just said F your homie, your dead homie, this and that. Like, that's disrespectful. How are you just gonna come back the next week and be like, yeah, no, we're good? He was just, it's like,
You know
what
what?
do you mean?
You know what I think? I think it's social media. That's what I think it is.
I think it's publicity.
It's all publicity for the likes, for the attention. That's the biggest example. Tekashi, who reportedly got out of jail. I haven't confirmed that yet. But
I don't know.
this is my thing.
I don't know.
It's all for attention. Why would you say F your dead homies, right? We're going to act like we're going to fight, and I act like I'm going to shoot you, and all of a sudden we dap up a week later on Instagram. If you really got beef with somebody, you're not going to put it on Instagram.
Yeah, that's...
You're not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weak to me. And the social media disease, is what I'm going to start calling it, social media disorder, is rampant, and it affects everybody. And it's to the point people are doing things just for attention that they shouldn't be doing. I remember there's a video of this rapper, I don't know if he's a rapper or whatever, you might have saw this, he jumped off his window and landed. He had jeans, Balenciaga pants on, a really nice shirt and a chain, jumped out of his window, got up, started throwing up yeah, I'm all that.
Jumped out of his window?
Yeah.
Of a car?
Nah, of a house.
Jumped out
And landed hard on the pavement.
No, I didn't.
Dude.
I didn't see that.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, social media nowadays. Well,
everyone's so sensitive now, and it's hard to really have an opinion or say anything that you want to say because everyone's going to slander you. Look at Kevin Hart. Dude's been getting dogged in the media.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Social media it's changing the way people kind of act and interact with people. I mean, obviously how people interact, but definitely how people act. I mean, people. I feel like, and again, this could people can be doing this for years and years and years,
right.
and I'm just happen to be born now, so I don't know. But I mean, it seems like people are doing a lot more and kind of just ridiculous things to get attention.
Yep.
Because all publicity is good publicity, regardless. Look at Boom Gang.
Dude.
He was doing what he was doing, and he had a lot of people that hated him. He had a lot of people that liked him, and now he's changed his name, and he's a rapper now. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know. And then who else?
I thought
Supreme Patty.
I don't even know that.
You don't know that? So you don't. You definitely see him on Instagram. He just does some crazy stunts too, putting lemons in his eyes and just the craziest stuff. and he's has, I'm pretty sure he has like 1 million plus on Instagram now, and I just actually heard a song from him a couple weeks ago.
Of course, he's a rapper.
It wasn't the best song in the world. I'm not gonna lie, it was low key decent. It was low key decent.
Yeah.
Like the vibe was kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, like it's easy to get if you're just doing stuff that people want to see. Like not even that they would enjoy seeing that, but just kind of like oh, I can't believe he would do that, or you know what I'm saying? Then people are gonna look at that, go on your page, and like, oh, what else is he doing? Oh, he does this too. Let me see, you know. So it just kind of, so I get it, but it's just, I don't know, man.
I get it too, because if someone were to go on my page, oh, he's a radio personality, and then say I'm an actor too. Oh yeah, he acts too. Like that's dope. But it's different when you're doing like remember that guy? I'm Tyrone. And I'm a bleep your wife, long bleep style.
What was that?
Dude he was just a dude. Grant, I'm not gonna lie, it was. I thought it was hilarious.
I never thought that was funny.
Oh my god, I thought it was the funniest thing.
I honestly thought it was fake. I thought all of those were fake because like he was just doing some disrespectful stuff again. And granted, not every guy, you know, especially dude was big. Dude was Diesel. I get it. You know, so if you walk them to obviously smaller men than you and you're doing stuff, if they're not gonna fight you, you know, because it's just not gonna look good. But somebody would have had to do something.
He got shot.
What I'm saying? Did he get shot?
Yeah, he got. Well, so you know, fake.
Supposedly.
The thing is, like everything now is so fake. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's real in anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a video. Of course, there's a video of him being wheeled out of a hospital in a gown. So it's just like. Is it real? Is it not?
I don't know.
And even with social media, I just have a hard time trusting the news. As a member of the media, that sounds ridiculous.
I don't trust the news.
I can't. I have a hard time doing it.
This is the thing with the news. I mean, it's like first of all, they are putting out like just misleading things, you know. And then depending on what news channel you're going on, they're gonna tell you the same story, different sides. So you're gonna have you can form two completely different opinions on the same thing.
Facts.
You know, and then you got. News channels or news networks that are owned by one big parent company, so you think it's a bunch of individual ones, but no, it's they're all controlled by one big. I mean, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy just to think about the type of stuff that goes on with the news, and you know that's something that we're supposed to be able to trust, you know, and that they're going to give us the information that we need. But I mean, they're just going to give us the information that's going to help them make us think certain things and act a certain way to benefit whoever they want to benefit, whether that's the owner, whoever.
Right.
But
like
I mean,
Fox is notoriously Republican.
Yeah.
CNN is notoriously Democrat. It's hard. For accurate news, you have to dig for it. Trust me, as I'm diving into this journalism part, to get accurate and good news, you have to dig deep and deep.
Yeah,
and deep.
You got to get it yourself. You may be able to look at those news networks to get just the story, like, oh, this happened, and you're gonna have to take it upon yourself to dig deeper and figure out what is the right information for you.
Right.
You know, because they're just gonna tell you what they want to tell you, even if it could be completely false, but they're gonna say it anyway. And a lot of people sit there and just take it as fact and don't do any other second research.
Right, and that also contributes to confirmation bias.
Yeah. And
big time. And I feel like that's a lot what we have going on now. Someone gets killed by a cop. Oh man, we hate the police. They say they go to an article from like, I don't know, Hot News Hip Hop, which is, you know, they promote, I don't know who's ahead of it, I don't know what race that person is, or he or she, but that promotes predominantly black news.
Yeah.
So, in thinking, you would think they would probably post something negative to slander the police if you go to something that's anti-police. But if you go to something, say Fox is Republican, they say, oh, well, they think you may have had a gun. There's no real thing, so there's no real middle ground. So you as a person, as a consumer, have to be in the middle ground to go find out for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because some people just don't care enough to either give the facts or to either go get the facts, but everyone just wants to speak on it. And it's really annoying to try and have constructive conversations with somebody who just chooses to just shout ignorant things and doesn't want to listen to facts. And then when you spit facts and nobody else knows it, they make it seem like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate that. I can't stand that. It makes you feel stupid.
Yeah.
You know, not to say I know it all, but if I did my research on a topic and I know it really well, and I know this topic and I've been studying my whole life, you're gonna tell me this, and that, and you're not gonna listen to me? Like, what reason do I have to lie to you?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost like these news networks, instead of giving you the information so you can form your own opinion, they kind of just give you the opinion.
Yep.
Like, this is what you need to think about this.
That's a good point.
You know, because if it was, they should just tell you the whole story, give it the facts, and then allow the viewer to form their own opinion on
Right.
based off of what they've been told. But
Right.
news networks now, what they tell you is so one-sided. It's kind of like, oh, I only have one choice but to form this opinion because that's all I was told. You know, I have no idea what this, you know, what happened on the other half of that.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I don't know, man.
Somebody should step up and do it.
Yeah, somebody should. I don't know.
I wonder who's gonna do it.
I don't know. We'll have to see about that.
I wonder who's gonna do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot harder than it looks.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
obviously there are other people that are thinking the same things we're thinking.
Definitely.
You know, and there are, you know, independent news things out there. I know, like on YouTube is the Young Turks is like a news network, and they trying to like pride themselves on being like independent and, you know, giving just the facts. We're just gonna give you the facts. And there's like NPR, and there's all types of different news networks out there. But I mean, who's to sit here and say they all aren't
biased?
You
somehow,
know,
yeah.
right?
I mean, no one is, unless you're behind the scenes, you never know. But I also feel like in the media world, I feel that there is, like I said, I may have spoke to this before, but like a gatekeeper. Or like someone who's just like, hey man, you've been asking a lot of questions. You're digging in the wrong places. So, you know, we're gonna shut you out because we don't want you to get the right answers. I think there's a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, I'm sure. But if you're getting too close to the truth, and that's a truth someone wants hidden, you know, then they're gonna do everything. And especially if they have the money and the power to do so, they're gonna do whatever they can to keep it hidden. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. But if you're gonna do something like that and try to uncover those secrets, you gotta understand the type of danger you're putting yourself into as well. You know, you're not just gonna be able to step in and walk out unscathed. You know, someone's gonna want if it's been hidden for so long, and then you're gonna go find it. Somebody's gonna try to at least stop you from getting that information.
Like I guarantee you, the Lifetime people who did this R. Kelly documentary. Well, no, he said that he's gonna sue Lifetime. But I mean, that's obviously not gonna work. But you know. That's a good example right there. They dug, they got the facts. I was watching an interview, Torrey Bradford, the BET journalist, who did the original interview R. Kelly when we were kids. This is a while ago. He did his interview years ago. But when he did the interview, you know, if you remember the moment, he said...
When he asked the teenager question?
Yeah. His face was funny. All right.
Oh, my God.
Right there, he's red flag like, yo, dude's sick.
I mean that's a good question, because 18, 19 or 13, 14?
Dude,
I mean,
he knew...
But do you see what I'm saying?
I
get it.
I see what you're saying.
Legal ages.
I would have said, me personally, not trying to knock Torrey. Obviously, he's an amazing journalist, but I would have said something like, you know, do you like underage women, or do you like underage people? That's what I would have said.
You should have said underage
instead of teenagers.
You should have said underage.
Because 19, 18, technically,
those are legal
but
ages.
I personally would have said, do you like underage men or women?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was going back to is that when I was watching the interview earlier today, this is a year ago, we did the interview on the Breakfast Club, he was saying how R. Kelly's crisis manager came out from behind and was like, don't answer that question. And, like, what? Like, you weren't supposed to ask that. And some parts of the interview got cut out. That BET cut out that we're never going to see because R. Kelly threatened them and said, you know what? If you put this out, I'm not messing with y'all anymore. Pull all my videos, do all this kind of stuff. What? That's the stuff I'm talking about. People we trust to be in charge are not doing the right thing. And that's the crazy thing about living here in this world. Everyone or either overreacts or underreacts or doesn't do anything at all. And the fact that my thing is with BET, who's really fallen off these past few years, but the fact that you would hide that for the sake of yourself is really selfish. And in reality, whatever you may have lost in R. Kelly revenue, you would have gained back in respect and attention because everyone would want to watch our BET at that point.
I know R. Kelly still has a lot of supporters out there,
which is crazy. That's some sicko stuff. That right there, those people need help too. And my thing is, if something like that.
Well, I mean, sorry to cut you off.
It's all good. Go ahead.
But I mean, we've had these conversations off air, obviously, of separating the artist from the person. Right. I think we talked about it with Kanye. Yep. But so why can't you separate R. Kelly's music from what he's done? Obviously, it's hard to do. Right. And I'm not saying that I'm doing that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I separated the fact that I don't know who he's making his music about. It's all love songs. I mean, on top of the fact where now we have streams. Okay, let's look at it like this, right? Say you have a rapper and the rapper commits murder. Mm-hmm. We're still gonna listen to his music. Right. But
I think it all depends on the crime, the nature of the crime, and what this person's been doing. R. Kelly makes nothing but love songs. On top, even if he didn't make love songs, the fact that he was doing all that, I would, if he was a rapper, whatever, I still would listen to him. Because if I'm streaming, that means I'm giving you money. I don't want to support you.
But there's a lot of rappers out there that do some pretty crazy.
They do, and nobody's
things to women that
correct.
have done some pretty crazy things as young adults or even as in their youth.
Correct, but I think everyone's tolerance, is different. So like me, for example, like X, I didn't really listen to the guy anyway. You know, rest in peace. My thing is though, like I gave him a little listen.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sound bad. I did not like it, but I wouldn't play it 100 all the time.
Right.
But you know, even though he may have committed those crimes, he beat a pregnant woman or allegedly beat a pregnant woman, domestic abuse, beat up a gay person in jail. All that stuff is terrible. At the same time, though, my tolerance for that is because the way I view it is everybody has room for growth, depending on what happened. Depending. That R. Kelly stuff, nah, G. Nah.
Did you listen to Rick Ross?
No.
Because of that line he had?
I just don't like Rick Ross.
Okay.
I don't make it a habit.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, but where is so murder is okay. Multiple murders are okay. Selling drugs that are ruining people's lives are okay. So killing a bunch of people is okay.
Okay, I see.
You
where
see
you're
what I'm
going.
saying? I mean,
I see where you're going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that, like, again, I'm not trying to support R. Kelly or anything like that, but I mean, you know,
I understand.
Where's the line?
You want the consistency in the line.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that, but
same with Chris Brown.
True.
You
That's
know?
true, because I love Chris Brown.
Exactly.
I might play some Chris Brown later.
Right. So I mean, if you're gonna get mad at R. Kelly for doing what he's doing, you gotta be mad at Chris Brown. Whether Rihanna, I know she like forgave him and stuff like that, but what happened happened, you know. And I mean, I'm not hating on Chris Brown at all. I mean, I'm just saying if you're gonna.
Yes and no though, because nobody's perfect, but I think it all depends on what happened. Oh man, you know what's crazy is the government shutdown, bro.
Yeah.
I feel
record breaking.
I know. And it's crazy because all these people who need work, who've been out of work for going on 24 days now, can't get paid because of a wall. But my thing is, you want to be so selfish, you want to do all these crazy things, and you want to build this wall, you think you're helping us, you're protecting us, when in reality, you're hurting us. I want to have a conversation with someone who voted for Donald Trump and ask them, do they regret it now? Because we're two and a half years into his term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 years into his term. You know, they said the job market's up. And they say that's because of him. I can't verify that for myself, so I'm not going to confirm it. But my thing is, anything that he may have done previously that even remotely helped this country is now down the drain. Because you've had Americans go almost a month without work, rebuilding a wall that's not even going to work, because they're going to find a way to get in. You're wasting billions and billions and billions of dollars on this, yet you have college students who are living in their car because they can't afford to live anywhere because they have to pay off their loans, or they'll be in trouble. So where does the balance come in? At what point in time are you trying to help this country so much that you're hurting it? You know?
Yeah. It's a sensitive situation.
Definitely.
You know, to talk about, especially with politics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy. It does make you question a little bit what, not just the Trump or the Republicans, but the government in general. Because it's not just Republicans. You know, I feel like they get a bad rap. You know, this is my thing. This is my views on politics.
Shoot.
All right. So first of all,
you told me this before, I think.
Yeah, we've had these conversations before, but both Democrats and Republicans, I feel, are on some shady stuff. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're just going to tell you whatever they can to get the votes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I did when I was running for president in 4th grade. I promised I can get, I promised I was like, I'm going to get recess longer, knowing I couldn't, because recess, how do I get that to be any, you know, and then everyone was like, yeah, he's going to do it. And I got voted president. I did not do that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, and that's obviously just not even on the same scale as.
Did you get impeached?
Oh, no. I did get the first school dance.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't go. I had soccer practice though. So.
Oh my god.
But I think both sides are I don't know, man. It's. I just feel like we're puppets, you know, to them, and we're just kind of, because they're good, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about any of this stuff affecting them.
Nope.
You know, everything that they're deciding is affecting us.
Right.
You know, and because they're not feeling the immediate effects of that, like the government shutdown, for example, then there's really no sense of urgency, you know. Granted, there is a sense of urgency, but at the same time, there really isn't. Because, like, they know that they're still gonna get paid. They know all of that, you know, so they're not like, oh man, I need to get this passed so I can get my money, because they're gonna get their money already, you know. But it's all these other people that are, you know, having to get second jobs, you know, sell stuff, you know, plasma donations, blood donations, you name it, whatever, you know, just to make ends meet, just so they can pay bills, because they can't go to work and get paid, you know. I mean, it's both, you know, the Republicans are asking for, or I guess Donald Trump is asking for money for the wall, the Democrats won't give him anything, you know, so that's both sides, you know. If the Democrats really wanted it to be, you know, to have this done, they would be like, okay, we need this compromise and figure out what's best for the American people at this point in time.
Right.
Not what's best for my party or your party, because that, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, because we need things to be done for us now as American people. But I mean, I just feel like both parties kind of just do what's best for themselves, you know, or their look, and it's just kind of, it's annoying. I mean, it's frustrating, you know. I mean,
absolutely, it's completely frustrating. And you brought up a good point to me years ago. You told me this. It's a great idea that a two-party system should be done, because there's no way two groups of people can decide how billions of people feel. Now, to give you kind of a timeline on the budget thing.
Yeah.
The budget for border security right now in the U.S. government was $1.3 billion. That is what the government offered Trump. He says, no, for the wall, I want 5.6.
Yeah.
They, of course, say no.
Yeah.
Now, he also, right, the government tried to come to a middle ground and say, okay, hey, how about this? We'll give you 2.3. 2.3, come to a middle ground. We're not giving you a wall, but we'll up your border security budget for $2.3 billion. Half the Republican Party says, yep, he's going to sign it. This is what's going to happen. Yep, it's going to happen. Of course, he comes out. He says, no, I'm not signing that crap. I don't know what y'all talking about. My vice president's an idiot. I don't know what you guys are speaking about. So now we're at the stalemate where the government shuts down. Now, you made a good point. You know, you said that you feel that the Democratic Party is also kind of bad. And sorry if I misquote you for not coming to that middle ground to just give the money up so other people can work. But my thing is, maybe they're doing that because maybe they're holding out on this wall because it actually could be a detriment to this company, or to the company, to the government. It actually be a detriment, because I think there's a valid reason why they're not letting them do it.
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we just obviously don't know, you know. But I'm only saying that they're equally to blame for this is because, right, I'm talking about immediate effects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the longer this goes on, the more time that people, certain people obviously that work in the government, go without making money. Some people are still working but aren't getting paid.
Yep.
Like, the National Guard is still working and they aren't getting any money.
My dad's friend works for the USDA. When working, not getting paid.
Not getting paid, right? So how much longer can that go on before things start happening? You know, people start, you know, getting desperate. You know, and what happens with that? I don't know. I guess that's different for every person. But I mean, I don't want it to get to that point. You know, they shouldn't want to get to that point either.
Nope.
You know, but the longer this kind of just keeps going on, like I said before, it's not directly affecting them. So they don't see the sense of urgency. I mean, they may get the letters or the phone calls, you know, saying, oh, I need this, I need that, and they're like, oh, we're working for you. You know, we have your best interest in mind. As they get back into their car with their security and they go back to their, you know, however expensive homes and have the health care and they have the nice education and this, you know what I'm saying? So all this stuff that normal just American citizens are going through, you know, they just are so out of touch with that, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and this is the thing. Maybe there is a reason why the wall wouldn't be good for us, you know, and that we just don't know. But why wouldn't we know? Why wouldn't they not tell us that? You know?
Good point.
Why wouldn't you want to know why the wall wouldn't be good? You know?
That's a very good point. I have my opinions. I'm sure as everyone does. I think that Okay, first off, it's going to take years to build, and I feel like there's going to be a point where it might not even get finished. And even with that being said, you're going to waste all this money, all these resources, all this time to build this wall. They're still going to get it. Illegal immigrants are still going to enter this country regardless of what you do. Whether you build a wall that's 50 feet high, whether you put an armed guard everywhere you're going to go, they're going to get in. There's no way to stop that.
You can definitely lower the rate of that.
You can definitely lower it, but you're not going to stop it completely. This just feels like to me it feels like a band-aid for a broader issue. The issue itself isn't the wall or people. It's just immigration in general. And to me, the wall is just a band-aid to appease the people so we can get reelected.
Well, I think I agree that the bigger issue is just immigration in general, and there needs to be something that's done with that.
Yeah.
But I can also see the argument as to wanting to secure the border down there.
Right.
You know.
I thought it was already secured.
I mean.
Because not trying to discredit you, but I mean after all these years,
or at least securing what they say. I mean, how secure? I don't know what security means.
If it wasn't, I feel like if it,
people coming past,
right?
Because I agree that people are still gonna come.
Yeah.
You know, regardless. I'm assuming if there is a big wall, the amount would be lower. I don't know, you know, but I don't know. I mean, I think there are better ways to do it. Do I know those ways? No, I don't know those ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's also not my job.
Right.
You know, to know those. There are people there specifically to figure these things out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe they've come up with some great ideas. I mean, I think a wall is a little extreme. But, you know, again, there's probably things going on that we just don't know.
True.
So we can't really form a definite opinion because there's probably some crucial information that we're just not getting. So we can't form these opinions.
Absolutely.
You know.
And, you know, I've a good friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
she will remain unnamed. She allowed me to ask her a few questions about immigration. She is 25 years old. She was born here, but her parents came here illegally.
Mm-hmm.
There's a common misconceptions among illegal immigrants that everyone just seems to think that they mooch off our taxes and they mooch on our welfare and
Definitely
they
not.
take all our jobs. That's all false because in all reality they're illegal. So if they attempt to pay, they can't pay taxes because they're illegal. They can't apply for welfare because of any given reason they are noticed by the U.S. government. They're going back home. So all of that is false, and that's a narrative that's been pushed all throughout society. They take our money, they take our jobs, they kill our people. First off, the biggest threat to Americans is Americans. Facts. Like.
Oh yeah.
Let's just. So when people say that, it really kind of grinds me up because it's just like you're not even looking at the issue that's at hand. You're so worried about something else, and until you fix what's going on within you, you're not going to be able to fix anything else outside of you. So, first off, they stop that argument. The other one is, like I said, they're not negatively affecting anybody. You know. Now, speaking of immigration, I did see a topic earlier today. This one's got nothing to do with America, but in China, right? There's a guy. He's Canadian. He got popped for drug trafficking.
Okay.
China initially gave him 10 to 15 years.
Right.
But then the prime minister of China was like, no, let's do that over again. Now the dude's got a life sentence. I'm sorry, the death sentence. They're trying to kill him over drug trafficking charges. But there's backstory to this because a Chinese head of technology was in Canada and got arrested because in the U.S. she was committing fraud. Fraud of fund or something like that.
Right.
So it really just goes to show you the integrity of our governments and really in the world and show how petty this is. Because there's no reason to give a guy the death sentence over drug trafficking. That makes no sense.
I mean, the laws aren't the same everywhere.
They're not, but
so if you're doing something that would be okay in your country or the punishment wouldn't be as severe in your country, and then you decide to go to another country, a completely foreign country at that, and to do the same thing, and their laws are that much more extreme for that crime,
but
and then get caught in that country doing that crime.
But they initially only gave him 10 to 15 though.
And then they redid it and gave him life or
death.
Or the death sentence.
Death, yes.
I don't know what the sentencing is for drug trafficking. If that is something that actually happens, like that's the sentence that's given out for drug trafficking over there.
Well, then why do they give him 10 to 15 at first then?
I don't know. I don't know the story you're talking about.
that just does that up to me. But it just shows you how inconsistent our governments can be. You know, if you're focusing on all the wrong stuff and you're putting money into this, whatever it may be, like for example, the wall. You're putting money into this wall, yet you're not even focused on the issue at hand.
Well, what do you mean by inconsistent between all of our governments?
Like inconsistency in terms of what they're focused on. They're not focused on the right things. You're focused on a $1 billion wall. You're not focused on the fact that a guy got into an airport in Atlanta with a gun and landed in China. Dude got on a plane with a gun. Did you hear about that? Because the government shut down and TSA's not being paid, dude got on a plane with a gun.
Right. And is that the same guy that got arrested?
No, different guy. This is a whole different. That guy was Canadian. That was in China. This is I'm talking about on U.S. soil. Dude got through TSA in Atlanta with a loaded gun.
Okay.
Got on a plane and it landed.
In China?
Yeah.
What did they do in China?
I didn't look that deep into it.
Oh.
But I know for a fact this guy
No, it's definitely nuts.
You see what I'm saying?
Nuts,
So,
don't get me wrong.
So like, you talking about, oh, the wall, and now you let the government shut down, but then now had something happen on that plane, God forbid, thank God it didn't, you would have been like, oh my God, this is a terrible mistake, I blame the Democrats, all this other stuff. Nah, fool.
Yeah, but you also got to think from the other side. To him and to people that are because not all Republicans are supporting this either.
That is correct.
You know, so I don't want to put that out there like, oh, Republicans are horrible people and Democrats are amazing, because that's just not true. Right. There are Democrats that are just not good people,
Fact.
and there are extremists on both sides that are just first of all, the media pushes those two types only, the far left or the far right,
parties in the world
at all. You know, I mean, and you either got the far right or the far left, and that's all you see in the media, and they want to make those people seem like that's just the whole party. So then, for everyone else who was in that party, you know, looks at the other side and is like, oh my God, they all are like that.
Right.
When when they're doing the exact same things that, and this is pushing such a false view of what the normal people are, and I mean, I'm sure there's someone that is a Republican and someone that's a Democrat, and their views on things probably aren't even that different, and they can probably see, why they would, I don't know, it's just
all it takes for them.
So crazy, man.
Someone I know closely, he is Democratic, his friends are Republican. Unless I'm quoting the story wrong, forgive me, if you're listening, forgive me, but his neighbors are Republican, he's Democrat. They talk to each other all the time. Granted, they're two different parties, but all it takes is conversation. Yeah. Civil conversation to educate each other. Not threatening, not slandering, calling you out of your name, threatening you, all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Conversation. Nobody's willing to have that conversation now. Nobody's willing to sit down and just, hey, this is how I feel about this view, this is how I feel about this view. And just agree to disagree.
I've had those conversations with people.
Exactly, and it's healthy. It's amazing.
I've also never encountered a Republican or a Democrat that are like the ones you see on the news either, where they're super extreme and they're like, we need to build a wall and we need to, and this and that. I haven't met.
I met a Republican like that.
I haven't met.
You know what? It was crazy. He was a stereotypical Republican, old gun-loving white guy.
That happens.
He was an old gun. Man, that was him. Definitely, he was a stereotypical Republican, and.
But then I'm also, but there's also the Democrats that want everything for free,
True.
And this and that, which is also just kind of like what,
True.
So I mean, if you're gonna look at one side, one extreme side, you have to look at the other extreme side, and you have to give them both the same.
You gotta be objective.
Exactly.
Absolutely. If the message is for border control, I get it. You want the immigration laws to be better. I think we all do. But at the same time, you can't just throw tons of money and put a Band-Aid on a situation without looking at the issue at hand.
Right, no, I agree with that.
It's way too hard to be an immigrant. I know someone who's from the Philippines who was on a 20-year waiting list. 20-year waiting list just to get into the country. Like,
I know.
Sheesh.
I know, exactly. And then, then you wonder why people just come over here. It's like, I'm not going to wait 20 years, And you got to think about the areas they're coming from, and then that everybody wants a better life for their children, and if that means going to a different country, you're going to do whatever you can to give them a better life, and so I can understand why some people would come over here legally just to give their kids a better life. I get it, and I get that the process to become an American citizen isn't the easiest in the world, definitely is not, so I understand, so that's why there needs to be that needs to be fixed. The process of becoming an American citizen needs to be fixed. Not putting just a wall up on the border so nobody can come in, and then not fixing the 20-year waiting list, or have or however long. I mean, it's different times for different people, but still, I mean, it's a long time regardless. You know.
So, pathway to U.S. citizenship. Be at least 18 years old at the time of filling the application for naturalization. Be a lawfully admitted permanent resident of the United States. At the time of filling the application, have a permanent resident in the United States for at least 5 years or at least 3 years if you meet all eligible requirements. Have demonstrated continuous permanent residence. Have demonstrated physical presence. Have lived within the state or USCIS district for at least 3 months prior to filing. Have demonstrated good moral character. Demonstrate the attachment to the principles, ideals of the Constitution. Demonstrate an ability to read, write, speak, understand basic English. Demonstrate a basic knowledge of U.S. history, government, civil principles. And that's BS. That's crap. Take an oath to the allegiance to take an oath to the United States, and then you receive a notification of naturalization. First, bro, can you recite the preamble right now?
No.
Exactly.
No, I can't.
That's stupid. I guarantee you Donald Trump can't pronounce the. I don't even like
I mean, I don't
his
think
name.
anybody can.
No, so that right there is.
History teachers.
Man, no.
Probably not even.
Catch him in
I
the
mean,
summer.
yeah,
Catch him
that's
in
a
the
whole
summer.
different conversation about what's taught in schools and how that's not really helpful for us in the future. And
Yeah.
I think it's kind of obvious now. I mean, how many people get out of high school and they just don't even know the basics of just living on your own, whether that's, you know, budgeting, car maintenance, and I'm not talking, you know,
That's
putting
a whole
an
other-
engine together, and, you know, I'm talking
Build it out.
you know,
Right.
changing your brakes or changing a tire. These things aren't taught
Right, no,
you
they're
know,
not. And that is a whole different topic.
at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's absolutely crazy. One thing I want to get on, though. I'm super excited for this. This is a hip-hop show, so we got to talk about a little hip-hop. I'm so excited for Revenge of the Dreamers 3. And I look on mass media outlets, I don't think anyone's really talking about it. I mean, I see it on Twitter, but
I've seen it out there.
you've seen it being spoken? Okay, then maybe I missed it, but I'm geeked for Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Oh yeah.
90 artists have showed up to this. And you know what, man? I don't really know what's going on with this camp. I just understand that crazy amounts of music are being made, and I don't really know what to expect. J. Cole's my favorite rapper. Who is your favorite that got sent to the camp so far?
Man. I'm really excited to hear Young Nudie.
Mm.
I'm a fan, and I just want to see what he's gonna do with J. Cole.
Mm.
You know, he may not be on the track with J. Cole, but I want to see what he can bring to the table, because I really like his sound. His sound and his music, I really like it. I think I've showed you. I've told you about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we listened to Sign Ball 3.
It's cold. Super cold.
Oh, man, it was hard. It was hard. So, people involved, of course, Cole, duh. We got Black, or 6 Lack, for those who know, for the listeners who may not know who that is. Anonymous, Ari Lennox, Banduda Izzy, Boss, Bean, Big Gator Bossman, JID, Big Germ, Bink, Christo, BJ the Chicago Kid, who's amazing, Black Metaphor, Malik, Brilliant Mac, Buddy, Cardiac, Cedric Brown, Chase the Money, Cheese Beats, Childish Major, crazy, I love Childish Major, Christo, as I said earlier, CJ Fly, Click and Press, Cousin Stiz, Kaz, D. Sanders, Deontay Hitchcock, Code, Deputy, DeJohn Styles, Dark Knight, Komari, Takey.
Batman's gonna be there?
Huh?
Batman's gonna be there?
Who?
Batman?
Dark Knight.
You're like, what?
I know, right? Komari, Night Train, Ducko. Bruh, Tay Keith is there.
Take Heat. He's on the come up, man.
Ooh, he had an amazing year.
Last year, hot year.
Hot year. Man. Tay Keith go crazy. Dumb Drums, DZL, Eden, Earth Gang, of course. Elite, Groove. Ooh, I might mess this up. Guadapa 400, 4,000. Come on, man. Y'all gotta make that name easier. That's an at name. GUAPDAD 4,000. Is that Guapdad? GUAPDAD 4,000. Is that Guapdad 4,000?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody.
If my son was a rapper, I was smacking. Like, why would you even say Guapdad? Anyway, Henry Dare, Hollywood JB, Ill Mind, J Card, J Bo, and of course J Cole, JID, J Cruzwell, Jets on Made, Justice League, ooh, Mez. There's more? Nah, I'm not doing that. Okay.
I was gonna say, like, what time is it?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to In School Detention. We appreciate you guys. Me and Pierce will be back next Monday here on 90.3 WRLR. You guys are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. You guys be safe. Have a good week.
Listening to 98.3 FM, WRLR LP, Round Lake High
Good
School.
show, man. Good show.